All right, folks, time to start. Grab a seat. Here we go. Good morning, good morning. And welcome to the Welcome House Breakfast, number six. Reverend, number 6. How many of you were here for the first one? We have some folks here. I think that was at the Ritz-Charles in a much smaller room. Today, over 1,000 of you are here to benefit this great program. So give it up for yourselves on that. That is awesome. My name is John Holt from Fox 4 News, and I'm here to proclaim the good news of the mission of the Welcome House and the bad news that bad baseball is back. Was it 5 in a row? 5 in a row now? So, let's forget about that and talk about football. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I really don't like turning on sports talk this time of year and hearing about a trade with the Chiefs. I'd rather hear about the Royals, but it's a pretty exciting time for the Chiefs, too. And I've also decided that this thing right here, which we're going to raffle off later, would look really good with a Fox 4 logo on it. Right? Can you see me buzzing around in that thing? That's terrific. Just one of the fun things we're going to do this morning as we help bring hope and homes and an opportunity for a second chance for the men who live and start their lives over at the Welcome House. You're going to hear, if you're new, if you've not been to this event before, you're going to hear what it's all about and why we think it's important that this morning be a success. We have a terrific keynote speaker. We're excited about that. And we're also going to have a little bit of fun while we're here as well. And that's a big part of it. So, and we hope to get you out of here on time to get you back to work. So thank you for being here. We welcome you to this 6th annual event. And to begin our proceedings, I'm going to bring up the Reverend Ted Pierce, Rolling Hills Presbyterian Church. And Reverend Ted, come on up and put in a good word for me, will you?
Thank you, John. Let's pray as we open our morning together. Loving God, we give thanks for this day of life, for the opportunities you have given each one of us to make a difference. Today, we thank you for the Welcome House, for all the staff and volunteers that give their time and energy to make a difference in someone's life. We especially pray for those men who have come to the Welcome House to beat their addiction. Give them courage, strength, and power to conquer and win their battle. Let them know that they are loved and valued. Bless our time together this morning. Bless Danny as he shares a message of hope. And bless this food and time together. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend. Appreciate it. A couple of quick housekeeping notes here. Quick reminder for you as you begin to enjoy your breakfast. Please start. I want to remind you that we still have an opportunity for you to take advantage of the raffle. We have one live auction item. Hopefully you've had a chance to see this. We'll tell you a bit more about that in a moment. But the raffle, we have some really cool raffle items, including the motorcycle, which somebody's going to ride out of here on. So use your phone. You can log on your placemat. There's a website you can log on to, a link, and buy your raffle tickets. But you got to do that by 8:05, and that's about 30 minutes from now. 28 minutes from now. So hop on there, buy those raffle tickets, and be a part of the game here today. Thank you again for being here. Enjoy your breakfast. We'll be back with our program in just a few moments. Okay, folks, we're gonna keep moving. Enjoy your breakfast. We've got a special guest who's going to come up now and visit with you. I've had the privilege of knowing the CEO of Welcome House for a number of years now, and honestly, his story alone is a terrific story. He himself arrived at the Welcome House with a backpack and about $10 to his name, right? He had a graduate degree, he had a career, and it's testament to the power that addiction can bring to your life, all right? Now, fast forward to where we are today, and what Welcome House did for this man to get his life back on track, he's now helping others other men, just like him. So much so that he's now running the place. He's in charge. I've already checked to make sure, because for a guy like me, it's very important that you have good lighting and high-def makeup. I think you forgot that part, didn't you? He's a good-looking guy, though. It's all right. We don't mind. He's a great speaker. Please welcome House, President CEO, Jamie Boyle. Jamie.
Thank you, John. Welcome, everyone. We are incredibly grateful and blessed to have each of you here with us today. Just for the record, I'm not going to be offended at all if you buy raffle tickets while I talk. In fact, if all you want to do is buy raffle tickets while I talk, feel free to buy raffle tickets. You know, this is one of my favorite days of the year, and it's maybe not for the reason you're thinking right now, fundraising. Don't get me wrong, that's a very big and important part of it. But I love this day of the year because it's the one opportunity that I have to so broadly share the mission and life-saving work of a special place called Welcome House with you. It's a place of compassion and support, responsibility and accountability, a place with a mission that is pure and more relevant today than ever before, a place that's focused solely on helping men whose lives have been devastated and destroyed by alcoholism and addiction, a place born of the 12th step of Alcoholics Anonymous, and where alcoholics and addicts help other alcoholics and addicts, and a place that has now helped so many men to recover, rebuild their lives, and find their way back. I want to start this morning by again saying thank you for being here and for your continued support of Welcome House. I also want to take a few minutes to recognize and say thank you to some individuals and groups for their effort, hard work, and significant contributions both for today's event and to the Welcome House in general. I want to thank Grant Baumgartner and Katie Castro, our event co-chairs this year. Round of applause. Fantastic job. John Windorf, Roseanne Prather, Mitchell Chalk, the entire breakfast committee, and all of our wonderful volunteers for creating another world-class event. I want to thank our sponsors for their very significant financial and in-kind contributions. I want to thank my staff for their caring and compassionate work and their dedication to recovery and to the Welcome House program. Guys, the impact of your work is significant and profound each and every day, and I'm honored to walk the journey of recovery with you. I also want to thank Danny Trejo, John Holt, and Tom Arnn for their participation and service here today. Finally, I want to thank the Board of Directors for their leadership, support, hard work, and vision, and for the opportunity to serve and represent an organization that means so much to me personally and that is delivering a solution to many men and their families in the struggle against alcoholism and addiction or substance use disorder in Kansas City. All right, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you to raise your hand and keep it up, okay? By show of hands, how many people in this room have been personally impacted by alcoholism or addiction in your life? Either you, raise them up and keep them up, a loved one, a family member, maybe a good friend, an employee, a coworker. Don't be shy. It's just 1,000 friends. Now I want you to take a minute and I want you to look around the room. Look around the room and how many people's hands are raised. It's almost unbelievable, right? You can lower them. Folks, you're going to have an opportunity today to get involved and do something about that. And I strongly urge you to take advantage of that opportunity. There are lives that are literally dependent on it. For those of you who raised your hand, what was that experience like? What was the pain like? Was it soul-crushing? A hopeless and helpless feeling that starts in the pit of your stomach and radiates out through your entire body? Did you try to help more times than you can count or remember? Were there so many sleepless nights waiting for that phone call that you just had to learn to live with it? Were there thousands of dollars invested and failed attempt after failed attempt was all you had to show for it? Was it like watching some tragic movie unfold before your very eyes and then struggling to come to terms with the fact that it's not fiction? And more than that, you're powerless to turn it off. Can't even turn the channel. Did you want to scream at the top of your lungs, pull your hair out and say, "Oh my God, why can't you see what's happening to you? Why can't you see what you're doing to yourself, to us, what you're doing to them?" Did you finally get so frustrated that you gave up? For most of the friends and family of the men we serve, men in the end stages of their disease and in imminent and grave danger, this has been the experience. They've tried everything they know to do, helped every way that they could, without lasting success. Ultimately, their friends and family reached their limit. Frustrated and exhausted, they give up, cut ties, hope for the best, and expect the worst. It's at that very point that Welcome House is added to the equation. For most, it's a Hail Mary pass, the longest of long shots. That's certainly how I felt when I walked through the doors of the Welcome House for the first time. And I'm fairly certain it's how my family and few remaining friends felt. I don't think any of us could have envisioned the miraculous and life-saving impact Welcome House would have on my life, and still is having on my life. But for the grace of God, there go I. I can only assume at this point, but I'm fairly certain that's close to how Michael felt when he got to Welcome House. Michael's primary struggle was with pain pills and benzodiazepines, but there'd also been a DUI, and alcohol was definitely part of the mix. He tried to get sober numerous times over the years, but at 30 years of age now, he could feel the deck stacking against him. After all, you can only be so lucky, right? Eventually, one of the many near-death experiences that inevitably occur for alcoholics and addicts active in their disease would probably take him. How many times can you really tempt fate? But things were looking up for Michael. He finally landed at a place that felt good, and even though he was still skeptical, hope had started to return. He had never been to a place like this, that felt like this, that operated like this. It was a true brotherhood, one that required his active participation and contribution, but he belonged. Sure, he had to pay an all-inclusive program fee that covered about 50% of the cost to have him there, but that was something he could do. It was a partnership, and Welcome House had agreed to contribute the balance of the costs associated with his stay. This wasn't just another handout. It was an opportunity for real recovery and rehabilitation. Where else could Michael go to be in a program for 9 months, 270 days, for the mere cost of $6,400? Having successfully completed the 30-day probationary and assessment phase, that's the first 30 days of grounds and activity restrictions required for all residents at Welcome House before they're formally admitted into the program. Michael was feeling good and looking forward to his first overnight weekend pass with his family. He knew the next week was going to be a busy one, And aside from the job that he'd recently found, he'd also be starting work on his Level 1 core program requirements. That included a Welcome House University class that he'd signed up for that following Tuesday. But Michael wouldn't make that class. The class was titled Brave Hearts for Dads and taught by a partnering agency, Cornerstones of Care. On Monday morning, Michael's wife called to let us know Michael had died of an overdose that weekend. He was the father of 4 children. Words cannot adequately express the impact of his loss. I can't even imagine it. Time and time again, I find myself reminded of the cunning and baffling nature of alcoholism and addiction, my disease, and the battles we fight daily at Welcome House. The reality is that despite our best efforts, we don't win all those battles. And each loss is tragic, painful, and oh so unnecessary. Still, we fight on, but for the grace of God, there go I. Over the past 5 years, 2014 through 2018, our intake and total men served numbers have soared, up 32 and 38% respectively. In 2018, we shattered our all-time high total number of men served, finished the year at 502. And these numbers don't include the family and loved ones impacted and our support and service to them. Unfortunately, with demand growing at such a significant rate, and with far too few recovery beds or treatment options in Kansas City, the number of tragic stories like Michael's is also soaring. Let me state this in as simple and straightforward a way as I possibly can. Parents are losing their sons, wives are losing their husbands, and children are losing their fathers at unprecedented rates. And there is no immediate end or relief in sight. And we need your help. If you attended our breakfast last year, you'll recall that with your support and the support of many generous foundations in our community, Welcome House has made significant improvements focused on only one objective: improving our outcomes. Each point we gain, every time we move the needle, that progress equals lives saved, relationships restored, and families made whole again. These investments and improvements included the implementation of our 9-month core recovery program, providing a roadmap for early recovery to our residents, the addition of individualized care and case management in a peer-to-peer model provided by a certified and professional team with the singular goal of achieving the best possible outcomes for each resident. The implementation of a customized electronic health or program record to document essential information about each resident's participation in progress, identify co-occurring issues and direct referrals, and to track overall program performance. The alignment of all aspects of our administrative, operational, financial, and governance practices with industry standards and best practices. Significant facilities and equipment improvements, really, at this point, too numerous to list, but that included the replacement of our aging fleet of vehicles and adding or augmenting other recovery and rehabilitative components of the program, such as Jumpstart for emergency employment assistance, Welcome House University, and our rehabilitative jobs program. And folks, we're just getting started. There are great things on the horizon for recovery at Welcome House. But right about now, you're probably saying to yourself, wow, Jamie, that sounds great. Well, I hope you're saying that. Wow, Jamie, that sounds great. But what do you have to show for all your hard work and our investment? Well, how about a graduate or successful outcome rate that has more than doubled twice in the last 5 years? How about a graduate or successful outcome rate for 2018 that finished 11 points higher than the high end of the national expected average. And these numbers don't include the family and loved ones impacted and our support and service to them. While we still don't win every battle, and we probably never will, we are making real and impactful progress toward winning the war, and we are saving lives. And that is what we have to show for it. I want to conclude my message to you today with a passage from AA literature. The reading is from a daily devotional called The Eye Opener, and it goes like this. No man with certainty can see beyond this instant. Yesterday we had a friend, hale, hearty, and bubbling over with energy and ambition. Today we write a letter of condolence to his widow. No one knows the day or the hour, but this we do know. We are alive right now. People are suffering right now. We can help them right now. At this time, I'd like to direct your attention to the screens. This is Welcome House, the power of recovery and the power of your help and support.
The problem of addiction is everywhere.
The number of people impacted by alcohol and drug addiction.
Every 8 minutes, someone in America dies from a drug overdose.
Sober homes, now they're in the spotlight as Wendy Williams tearfully shared her struggles.
More than 20 million people, ages 12 and older, are addicted to drugs and alcohol.
I've tried everything else known to man. I've done every drug.
That's more than twice the number of people living in the states of Missouri and Kansas.
My drug of choice is pretty much more.
With every story of addiction, families and relationships are being ripped apart.
The phone rang and you get a phone number that is a number that you don't recognize, and you think it's going to be somebody calling saying they found your son dead.
It had been quite a long journey.
The Welcome House is a place that offers a solution and hope to those battling addiction, as well as the people who love them.
My feelings toward the Welcome House, they saved my life.
You're not staying here long term. At some point, you're going to leave Welcome House.
Welcome House Sober Living Recovery uses a compassionate, person-centered approach in providing substance and alcohol abuse recovery for adult men. Most men arrive here with no money or job and no support system. Family members are exhausted and don't know what else to do. Many have been forced to cut ties and become a witness to the wreckage. When Zach Cummings arrived at the Welcome House 15 months ago, his life was in chaos.
In my addiction, I lost a house that was completely paid off in my name. I lost multiple cars, nice cars. I lost a fiance. It was horrible.
The stress level was beyond over the top.
It was our concern, honestly, that we would have to bury our son, and no parent should have to do that.
Brandon Sander came to the Welcome House in August 2016. Brandon started abusing alcohol, drugs, and prescription painkillers at age 19.
The impact my addiction has had on my family, from my point of view, it's awful. It's awful.
You will lose yourself and lose your life in trying to make sure that person knows that they're loved and that they're supported, and you'll be stolen from and you'll be lied to. You wonder, why can't they see the love?
He had tried other things, and it didn't work, and we were scared that there wasn't a solution, and Welcome House was that solution.
The 80 beds at Welcome House are often filled to capacity. Last year, more than 500 men came here to get help. For each person battling a substance use disorder, addiction affects at least 10 family members and friends.
Typically, when guys get to the Welcome House, we describe them as being in the end stages of their disease, and they've run out of options. That's where Welcome House comes in.
Recovery at the Welcome House focuses on research-based therapeutic programs and 12-step recovery principles that empower residents.
We're going to run the Welcome House program by the rules as the program is supposed to be run.
Residents are held accountable and responsible in their own recovery and must agree to 5 simple rules. Don't drink or use, attend meetings, get a sponsor, secure and maintain employment, and contribute by paying their daily program fee. Welcome House provides a safe, supportive, and structured environment that fosters personal accountability and responsibility. The recommended 9-month stay at Welcome House provides time for intensive rehabilitation.
Once I started doing the work in the program, just the sense of self-satisfaction that it gave me, really drew me in.
What we know is that if we are successful with our resident, parents get their son back, wives get their husbands back, children get their dads back, and lives and relationships are rebuilt and restored.
After a 9-month stay, both Brandon and Zach graduated from the Welcome House. Today, both men work full-time and live busy, active lives. Brandon enjoys spending time with his family, especially his son.
It's great. He loves me unconditionally. I didn't know that I could miss a human being so bad until I had him. I'm just grateful. A lot of gratitude involved.
With each step, we were able to trust a little bit more. He was able to let us in a little bit more. We were able to let him back in a little bit more. It brought us back together.
Some of us tried to hold on to our old ideas and the result was nil.
Both men stay close to the recovery community, helping newcomers who come to the Welcome House.
Here are the steps we took, which are suggested as a program of recovery.
Zach returns here each week to lead a 12-step recovery meeting.
That's funny.
That is cute.
And each day, Zach's relationship with his parents grows stronger.
I come over here, I eat dinner with them, I don't have to call before I come over, I can just show up. They recently went out of town and left me a key to the house. Oh man, that blew my mind.
Frankly, the burden taken off of our family was amazing. Everything that's really happened to him has been related to Welcome House. And he's back 100%.
We're just so thankful to have our son back.
The Welcome House is committed to helping those battle addiction to recover and lead productive, healthy, sober lives, bringing men back to their best lives and rebuilding the relationships that mean the most, the relationships with those who love them.
My name is Zach Cummings, and I'm back.
I'm Brandon Sander, and I'm back.
I'm Jamie Boyle. I'm president and CEO of the Welcome House. I'm also a Welcome House graduate, and I'm back. All right, folks, this is your opportunity. There are people in this room right now celebrating recovery birthdays today. People who are still struggling and fighting for their lives, and others who have recently buried loved ones. Real and wonderful people like Michael, Eric, and Doug. Whatever your circumstance or experience is, please know we're on your team. You're not alone, but we need your help. If you raised your hand earlier, or if you or a loved one have been impacted by alcoholism or addiction in any way, I urge you to join your friends and show support of the Welcome House program. Help us to continue to save and change lives in Kansas City. Help us give more grandfathers, fathers, husbands, brothers, and sons back to their family and loved ones. Table captains, if you haven't already, please hand out the contribution envelopes to each of your guests. Folks, when you get your envelope, please take a look at it and decide how you're going to contribute today. Once you've made your contributions, just give your envelopes back to the table captain and we'll collect them at the end of the event. Give generously. Give what you can. And know that even the smallest gift matters. It's because of the Welcome House that I'm sober today. It worked for me, and I believe it can work for any alcoholic or addict. My name is Jamie Boyle, and I'm back. Thank you.
All right, we have one more right here, don't we? So let's, Rich McCardle's our board chair. He's going to come up and present our Miracle honoree today, our Miracle Award. Rich? Yeah, it's okay. You bet.
Good morning. I'm Rich McCardle, and I am an alcoholic. And it's a pleasure to be here, and many of the guys in the audience this morning have certainly helped me along my journey. Danny, very powerful message. Thank you for coming in from LA. It's an honor for me to present this morning the Miracle Award. And the Miracle Award is given each year to an individual that gives back and is of service to those of us that are involved with the Welcome House. And I have the distinct honor of celebrating the recipient's award today for an individual that has contributed his service, time, and effort to the Welcome House over a period of 25 years. Harold House is this year's recipient of the Miracle Award. Harold, if you could come up. Harold got involved with the Welcome House in the mid-90s, and it was highly recommended by a Kansas City judge that Harold consider going to meetings down at the Welcome House. Well, he had a couple starts and stops in the program, but in 1995, Harold became a resident at the Welcome House. So not unlike Jamie, he's an alumnus of the Welcome House. And that experience has had a profound impact on his life to this day. So much so that every Sunday morning for 25 years, Harold shows up and is part of the meeting that we have at 8 o'clock on Sunday mornings at the Welcome House. And one of the things that endears all the guys in the house to Harold, he's no dummy, he always arrives with 24 donuts for all the fellas. So it's a great honor to have Harold receive this award. Harold is also very active with the St. Andrew's Episcopal Church in Brookside, who has become a partner of the Welcome House in terms of generating additional dollars for our guys down at the Welcome House. It's been a great partnership, and we appreciate Harold leading the charge and putting us into the St. Andrew's community. It's been a great relationship. So with that, Harold, we'd like to present to you, it's my distinct honor for a much-deserved Miracle Award 2019. Harold House.
Thank you. My name is Harold House. I'm an alcoholic. I don't drink or take drugs anymore, and thank you very much for that, because that's a big deal in my life. Welcome House. I went to Welcome House 25 years ago, and there's no doubt it did save my life and changed my life in many ways. Today, because of all your support, between 75 and 80 men residents are there. They have the opportunity for that miracle to happen to them. So I'm just suggesting you all keep up the great work, because it's a wonderful deal. Super staff, people love, miracles do happen. I go there every week because it helps me, and I'm hoping it helps some other guys. I also bring donuts, which may be the only reason they want me to come. But thank you very, very much, and I appreciate it. And when they said this, I said, I'm sure there's 10 other guys that are in line for this, and I'm sure I'm not in line, but I appreciate your help very much. And I want to say thank you to St. Andrew's Episcopal Church, and thank you to my son, Patrick, and thank you all very much. Rock chalk.